Right, Merry Christmas everybody, hope you're having a great Christmas and a new year. We just thought I'd get together with you and do a bit of a review of this year. What an absolute crazy year we've had this year due to COVID kicking off. We started last year, this will go out on New Year's Day, so it'll be last year. We started last year at the Feeder Master Winter Pairs where me and Mark Turner teamed up together. We really enjoy that league, what they run up there, Lee Kerry and Mick Viles, and we think it's a great start to the year. We ended up coming 14th in the end out of I think there were 5 matches, and it's a cumulative weight over the 5 matches. We ended up coming about 14th, just outside the money. We really enjoy it, so that's where we started this year, is at the at Allcroft, and we really enjoy that league. We've had a couple of good results in the past, so yeah, it's great just to get out there and fish, and that's where we started last year anyway. It did get a little better for us because after that it was the knockout tour. We did the knockout, I run the knockout tour, which was over Allcroft, Ayfield this time, and the final at Worsborough. I only did 3 rounds this year, and well, my knockout tour weren't too bad at all. I got into the final. It got put back due to COVID restrictions this year, so the final was initially supposed to be in March, but it got back to October. But we did I did the rounds first in February. And I got through to the final, so it weren't too bad. The year started off quite nicely. We got a decent result in the Feeder Master Winter Pairs, and then I went on to the knockout tour. I got through to the final. Then the year, I also did quite a few golden rod qualifiers last year, and I got through to the final as well of that event. It was one of the last rounds at Barston. And I went with my good friend Mick Viles from Newfish, Preston, Sonu Bates. He's got his fingers in many pies. He's the big Mac in the land of the small fry, old Mick Viles. So we went down in there, and he says, "Oh, you're in the lucky seat today. That's where Tommy Pickering usually sits." This was obviously before all COVID and we could travel together. I think it were in about February or some sort of time. And I went down with him, and I drew a decent peg, round about 50s I think it were, and I felt 57, 58, somewhere along there, and wind were blowing into me, and I was just chucking a short feeder in all day, and I was getting big bream, and I had £27, and cut a long story short, I had £27, ended up winning the zone, and I got through to the final, which was a great result. So the year started off absolutely fantastic, made it to the golden rod final, and I were in the knockout tour final, so the year started off fantastic. It went a bit downhill from there. I went to the golden rod final in, I think it were March, April sort of time, and this is when it started all kicking off. I stayed in an hotel with Gav and who were it? What's his name? Pricer, and I had a really good time down there. One night I stopped in a caravan with Charlie Simpson and Ian Doherty as well. So I went down, put a little bit of practice in, and I ended up doing all right halfway through the table. I obviously didn't get the money, just missed out. I think I come about 16th, 17th in that composition anyway, and I know I got 6 points from each day. Should have done a little better. On the first day I were absolutely bagging, and Tom Scully come round with cameras and said, "Oh, Dave Wood's absolutely, hammering him in," and I were doing quite well, and then on the second day all I did was fish short all day, hoping for some big carp, and I got a couple of big bream, but I could have had more out of that peg. So it started off well, and that's when really we're in the caravan and we're watching the news, and Boris Johnson, Charlie Simpson said to me, "Look, Boris is on, we're shutting it down, we're shutting it all down, I don't know if we can get home or not." I'm like, what's going off here? Anyway, that kicked off, COVID kicked in, and that was my last match for quite a long time, was the golden rod final, at Larford Lakes. And that was my last match for at least a month, because the whole country went into lockdown due to COVID. I'm not going to lie, it was a very, very strange time, and it were crackers, to be honest. We've never seen out like it. People were saying, oh, it's like in war, you can't leave house and all this stuff, and it were absolutely ridiculous. But I tried to soldier on, keep doing the videos. I got my friend Mark Roger, he were off work as well. He did a couple of tips videos for us. Try and just keep his minds busy and keep on top of things. I was working from home, so I know a lot of people didn't know what they were doing, sat at home doing nothing, but at least I could do a bit of working, and that kept my mind right, and I could concentrate on doing the odd video at home and a few tips videos and whatever I could, really, just to try and keep me occupied and me mind, you know, onto something, instead of worrying about this bloody COVID thing that shook the world in 2020. So yeah, I was in the house for a month. I then, you know, I was talking to everyone on the phone and that, Graham Wall and what have you, and really, you know, these people kept me going through COVID, through the lockdown. Really, is we started doing the virtual matches on his Facebook page, where, you know, people could pay so much money, and I'd do it on the wheels of names and pick people out, and people could win money, and it was like a virtual fishing match, which kept us going. And me and Graham Wall run that, and I drew the names out and what have you, and Graham Wall helped me and stuff like that, so big thanks to him. And it must have been the biggest virtual match we had in history, to be honest, because we had over 200, I think it was nearly like 280 people at one stage. It were absolutely ridiculous amount of money that we were getting. So I got drawn out, and then I'd pick. So it were fair. I'd draw you out on the wheels of name, and then if your name got picked out, you go into the bag of love. And then if you got a DNW, you got a fish or whatever, you know, you could win so much money. But I never won a bloody thing, to be honest. I know Mark O'Neill won about 400, 500, 600 quid, and who else won some? I can't even remember. I remember this last winning quite a few of them. People were messing with, are you doing it, and that took loads of my time up, to be honest. It were an absolute nightmare, putting all the names down, getting it ready for the Saturday, but it were good because it kept people going, and I hope it kept everybody interested out there in the lockdown situation. So, and it kept me going as well. So I want to say a big thanks to everybody out there for help, you know, just helping me do that, and keeping my mind right and not worried and stuff like that, and it kept my mind off stuff. So thanks to everybody out there. So that were it. We ended at lockdown, and we got out fishing, and I remember as soon as we could go fishing, I got out and I went out fishing just to have some normality, really. And I went up to Newbegin, one of the local ponds, and I just had a quick fish, and it was just nice to get out in fresh air, because you could only go out in the lockdown to have a walk and to do a bit of exercises, and everyone were bloody scared to death, I think. So I went out anyway. I went fishing, and then match fishing were back on, and we could go match fishing, and I went up to Oakcroft, and it was just nice to have a bit of normality. That's all it were, really, for me. You know, I didn't even care that it were a match or anything like that, to be honest. I just wanted to get out there and do something what's normal to me, and that was, I suppose, it were match fishing, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so it's been an absolute terrible time. And then I've been in a few matches through the winter, through the summer, sorry. We went down to Elsica and had the worst days fishing ever. That were a good video where I got wet from that car and everything like that. So there's been some ups and downs. So I started off the year quite good, and then as soon as COVID, that were it. And I remember going out match fishing, and because COVID, you can't draw yourself out of a net. And obviously I've got the lucky touch for the peg and what have you, and people, oh, you're on this peg, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, you've drawn me an absolute stinker here. So I had it in my mind that whoever were drawing me peg, I was like, God, you've drawn me another crap peg here, that's it. And Yeah, I went through a bit of a stage where I couldn't catch a bloody fish, I couldn't win a match, I couldn't get a section or anything. And everyone were like, persevere Dave, it'll come, it'll come, it'll come. And I went up to Fleet since summer, I got a second, and then started getting back into it. And I fished loads and loads in matches which I could in the summer. I went down Westwood again, really enjoyed those matches. Jackson came with me, he started fishing the matches. Remember when he caught that big 14-pound carp? And then he come third with it, and he fished about 3 or 4 matches. He loved it, and I took a step back really and just let him carry on, and I helped him with a few bits and bats, and he just fished. He really enjoyed it, and it was great through the summer just going down there on a Monday night. The UK champs, I've got to mention the UK champs. I had an absolute terrible time at the UK Championship. And I don't know what it were, I couldn't get into a rhythm. I had a terrible draw at Allcroft. I ended up having like £20 when I fish Allcroft all the time. I know what I'm doing at Allcroft, but my head went. And I started fishing meat and also, and I just couldn't get my head right really. I don't know what it were. And then I went to decoy. I had nearly 50 kilos at decoy, and I don't know. I had an absolute terrible UK Championship this year. Anyway, when it got to Boston, the final match, there were a lot of to and fro-ing saying it weren't going to be fishing, we were going to be in lockdown again. Anyway, we finally got there to Boston, and I just thought, forget this. I'd ended up drawing a rubbish peg, 109 or something. I just chucked the feeder out all day and just sat on it and just waited for carp really. I weren't messing about for skimmers. But I enjoyed it anyway, even though I had a terrible time on the UK champs. And well done to Andy Kinder for running it and making sure that everything was safe and what have you. It were fantastic. So, and I hope Sarah's feeling all right, Andy. I know she's having a bit of a rough time at the minute. So love goes out to Sarah. Hope she's back on the bank and we can see each other again, you know, next year. And hopefully the UK champs will be back. So I can't even remember who won the UK champs either, but it were Andy Power. Of course it were Andy Power. So yeah, massive well done to him. And we just started doing the open matches. I did quite a few at Worsborough. My trolley fell over, someone stuck a bounty on my car and all sorts. So I really enjoyed their matches at Worsborough. And I were bigging myself up coming from the summer into autumn, ready for the knockout tour final. And I'd spent a lot of time I've been going to Fleets matches, Worsborough matches, staying local really, because that's all we could do through this terrible time of COVID. You couldn't travel and all sorts of stuff. Angling Angling Trust had done a fantastic job of keeping us informed. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to Angling Trust for keeping us informed through that period. And once they said it were, you know, okay to travel and okay to you know, go match fishing again, you know, we started. And I put a lot of time in at Worsborough, like I said, for the knockout tour final, which were in October. And I went up there and I got a second and everything like that, and everything were coming together. I thought, right, all I need to do is just draw a fantastic, you know, decent area. And I got an absolute crap peg, didn't I, on the final. My brother did really well. I said to him, look, do this, what I've been doing in, you know, I've been going up there and getting good results. Put a load of worm in, do this, fish short, blah, 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 all this stuff. Anyway, he did really well. He ended up coming second. So well done to my brother. Fantastic result. And we had a new champion, Steve Drake won the knockout tour final, so a massive well done to you. Third time trying, and I just wanted to say a fantastic result for that. And he'd not been really that well over when it were in lockdown and whatever. And his son Richard, he come with him, so I just wanted to say congratulations. It were a fantastic day, and you know, so it were great. I really enjoyed it, but for me personally, I were a bit miffed off that I'd not drawn a good peg and put what I had done into practice into play. So that was that one, and then we started doing a few matches at Ayfield and stuff like that. I love Ayfield. It really suits what I can do, and I do really love fishing on the island as well. You know, where the island lake, that's my favourite lake. Chucking a feeder out, waggler and stuff like that. You can win it on anything at Ayfield. You don't just have to sit there on a pole. So I really enjoyed going to Ayfield. and they put loads of great COVID restrictions in place. You felt safe. I felt, that's what you needed. And everyone in match fishing had done fantastic putting these COVID restrictions in place so people could go and feel safe match fishing. So the match fishing community has done a fantastic job, to be honest. And I'm really proud of everybody working as hard as they can, to put matches on in this terrible time. So, but we got through that and started doing a few more matches at Ayfield. I got a second at Ayfield, I got a third at Ayfield. We finished the year off where we started it at the Feeder Master Winter Pairs. That were going ahead, and I don't know, you've probably seen the new video that I put up, the Christmas special, where I went and did the first round. We've got another one coming where I took Jackson and he had a fantastic day. That one should be already on. I don't know when this video is going to go out. So that one's already on at the moment. And then we've got another video coming where it was the last match of the year. I went up to Ayfield. I fished the Christmas match at Ayfield. I thought, it was 20th. I thought, I'll go up there because I've got loads of work on at work and stuff like that. And I want to get everything sorted for Christmas. So the last match of the year I finished at Ayfield Lakes. I went up there, drew 14. And I just chucked the feeder out, and I chucked it out with winter fishing, obviously chucking it in different spaces, trying to find a few fish. And anyway, I ended up having 59 pound, and I ended up coming third in the match. So I had a great result. Alan Barker, he come second, and Steve Cook won the match. So that was my last match of the year. We're continuing doing the Feeder Master Winter Pairs, hopefully. Boris has put a thing out. He's going to do a new... I didn't really want to talk about it, but I don't know what's going to happen next year, because Boris has put a statement out saying that he's going to talk to us on Boxing Day to tell us that we might be going in different tiers as a tier 4 and all sorts of stuff. And it's terrible what's happening all over the world, but what can we do? We've just got to do what we get told, really. Try and be as safe as we can, and move forward into next year, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can carry on and get back on with our lives, because this year's been an absolute terrible year for everybody, and we've just got to knuckle down, get through it together, and try our best, haven't we? Really, we don't know what's going to happen for next year. I'm hoping that we're gonna see the Feeder Masters back. That's a great competition. I haven't got any more Golden Rod tickets. I sold the last ones out that I had because we couldn't travel from, it's a long way down to Decoy, and I thought, look, it's too far. I'm not travelling all that way, so I decided to sell them. But I've no idea what's going to happen for next year. I hope everyone has had a great Christmas, and I hope you've enjoyed watching these videos and watching my journey through the year. I just thought I'd get together and do a bit of a year review. I've got to say that it has been quite hard work sometimes doing the videos, trying to push myself to get better results, and a lot of people out there, all your comments and your likes and everything like that has pretty much got me through it, to be honest. All the great comments that I get of people saying, well done Dave, keep going Dave, you'll get there, and stuff like that, and I do read them, and I do try and reply to everybody that comments on the videos. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody out there who supported the channel, and who continue to support the channel. I think we've got about 8,000 subscribers now. We're getting more and more, and massive thanks to everybody out there. I just wanted to say before we finish that the members only videos have gone really well, and a big thank you to all the members that have joined. It means a lot. It means that I can start progressing with the channel, start buying better equipment, stuff like that. And I know that people, oh, what are you doing that for? But I've got to progress with it, and I know that, and I just wanted to thank everybody that's joined and become a member. And I'm trying to keep putting videos on for you as well, so that it's behind the scenes, live on the bank, stuff like that. So a massive thank you to all those members. I'm going to leave it there because it's at the moment it's Christmas Day. I've got Jackson and Gracie coming round, and they're going to be opening all the presents. It looks like Santa's been, so hopefully there'll be a few in there for me as well. Well, I don't know what I'll be getting. Hopefully we're getting some nice fishing tackle. So that's it, year in review. I just want to, again, thank you to everybody that's supported this channel, and just keep supporting, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get through this all together, and next year we can have you know, a massive party and start interacting with people on the bank, and we can start getting through it together. So stay positive out there. I'm going to try and stay positive for the new year. Massive thanks. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hope you've enjoyed the videos this year. Take care, keep on bagging. Peace. Merry Christmas.